What's up YouTube? Kyron back up in here with another video, and today we have a vintage pickups video. Have so many vintage clothes to showcase for you guys. Been stacking them up pretty much the whole summer in hopes of showing them to you guys in this video, because I haven't had the chance to showcase them to you guys because the last haul video I didn't want it collided with vintage stuff, just because it would have been way too long, because I have a lot of stuff. I even had to shed out some extra vintage stuff that I had just because I didn't want this to be like an 30+ minute video. Hopefully it doesn't even get that long for this one, but we're gonna try and knock it out. Have a bunch of different vintage accounts that have submitted some stuff for me to wear, showcase to you guys, whatever, just to show you guys what they got. So a lot of those will be in the description below. If I blank on them, I'm totally sorry, because there's a lot of different pieces from different areas. Only some of them I remember. So regardless, all of the vintage boutiques, whether they be online or in store or whatever, they're gonna be in the description below. And yeah, so that's about it. Let's get right into it. The first one is actually this CN corduroy gray trucker hat. I've been into these vintage hats recently. I feel like they really suit my head properly, when they're kind of crushed because they've been worn for so long, and they have this little rope, whatever. This is just from CN, which is the train service in Canada, but I think it's from the 80s, which is pretty cool. So just gray corduroy, has a nice texture to it. I like it. Really beautiful gray color. I don't have too many gray hats, so felt like it was a good addition for the hats, especially when I have my hair twisted. A lot of people want the hair tutorial. Don't know if I'm going to do that, but anyway, going into the next piece is this Labatt blue hat, another kind of deconstructed but with the sturdy front panel, which I've been a big fan of just because the fit is pretty perfect for my head. Snapback, the same one with this one. This one just doesn't have a ribbon, but Labatt blue is a beer out in Montreal. I don't know if they have it in the States or whatever, but pretty cool little blue hat, just kind of deconstructed. Cool to just throw on whenever I have my hair twisted like this. Most of the time I have it out or like this, so that's my two go-tos for my hair. So when I want to, I could chuck on a hat. On to this one. I believe I found this at a vintage, a curated vintage store in Montreal. This is this salt and pepper bleached out pair of 505 Levi's. I actually found these in the women's section because this store in particular, they don't have much men's pants at all, so it kind of sucks. So just because of that, I was curious to see what was going on in the women's section, and I came across these, and they were actually a 33 by 34. I was surprised they were even in there. But yeah, this beautiful wash. You can see they started off as a black and it just got bleached out. But by far, this is probably my favorite feeling Levi's, just as far as the sturdiness and how soft they are. So I was thinking of wearing them how they are now, and then eventually when I'm tired of them, to dye them black. But you guys let me know what I should be doing with these, because they honestly probably could be my favorite go-to black Levi's that I don't have yet, that I could just dye, or I could just keep them like this and wear them until I get bored of them, and then chuck them on my secondhand selling profile, on a Depop or something, or on a Grail. Let me know what I should do with these, because I'm kind of curious to see what you guys think about that piece. Onto this one is this kind of iridescent or reflective crest on a Russell crew neck. All these I'm gonna try on, by the way. Hopefully I get all that information for you guys, or just to try on. Pop my head through like this just because of how close I am to the camera, but whatever. But yeah, you could kind of see the little crest logo. Not too familiar on what exactly this crest is from. Hopefully it's nothing too sus, but yeah, 1999 is when it was established, so I'm assuming it's a 90s crew neck. This one I actually found thrifting. That was sent from a care package. I'll have the link in the description of his account and his name, everything like that, for all of the vintage boutiques, because some of them are getting jumbled into one another because I have a fat stack this tall of vintage stuff, and we're only not even halfway through. So yeah, this is actually a security or investigation jacket with a faux fur collar. I just found it fit really nice, how boxy it was and the exact color, and just how sturdy the zipper was, everything. And it reminded me a lot of early Helmut Lang pieces. So that was kind of an alternative to me, as opposed to spending a good amount of money on one of those older Helmut Lang jackets. Honestly, I feel you seam ripped this patch out, people would probably think it was that, to be honest. So yeah, really big fan of this piece in particular because of the faux fur collar, like I said, and then also just the color is something that I don't really have too much of. I'm trying to buy more for fall winter right now just because summer is pretty much done, unfortunately. I had an amazing time this summer. I've been buying way too many clothes that were not summer clothes, but I definitely got my summer outfits out as I was intending. So yeah, now we're gonna get into a fun period. Shout out to my boys over at Silver League and at Unsigned Rags in particular, because they were very kind to send me a whole bunch of stuff from their repertoire of clothing. They have a whole bunch of vintage clothes. As far as all of the vintage boutiques that I've experienced online, they're probably the most curated selection that I could find. It's gonna be a bit more pricey, but you get what you pay for. They are very, very good at selecting the items that they feel like is the most appropriate for their clientele. And they did an amazing job for me because I didn't even like handpick them. They kind of just like sifted through what they had and they were like, these are like higher-end pieces, you know? So I was really happy to see that they like had my style in mind and also just things that they think I would like. And Ty and Fernando blessed me up, I'm sure, as well as like the rest of the team over at Unsigned Rag. So thank you kindly. I really appreciate it. I'm gonna jump into some of these goodies right here. This one, really sick just because of how funny it is. Let me see if I can button this up for you guys, just so that it's a bit more sturdy. Let me see if I could grab actually a loose hanger. That might help. So we have this 60s, I believe. Yeah, I believe it's from the 60s and it's made in the USA. And it says Byron on the front. So that was like a little inside joke from when I was in LA. Hilarious tee. Well, hilarious polo rather. The cool little po' boys with a skunk on the back. And it's textured, it's like a velvet, like heat transfer, I would say. Not even like a print, but very unique type of piece. I don't really have anything like this right now. I don't rock too many polos, to be honest. But I love the chain stitch Byron on the front. Pretty jokes close to my name. It's spelled K-Y-R-O-N. But I love this piece, really, really unique. Let me see if I can get that off of there. This one by far is probably my favorite piece from Unsigned Rags that they sent me. You guys killed it with this one. All the Canadian troops about to stand up. The OVO Drake basketball. That's pretty jokes. But yeah, Drake basketball Letterman jacket. Not too sure on the exact age or year of this. I would assume the 70s for this one, just because of like the very intense wear on it. It like turned what I believe is like a tan leather into like a green and brown mixture. Just like a collision of colors that makes up this, but you can't really mimic that age, bro. It's just perfect. Really, really nice. The only thing with this is that you could tell, like you could definitely tell that it's like an older piece because of the smell. Like you can never get rid of the smell. This is like age, like years of wear and tear for sure. But also just that chain stitch. I love that detail of the chain stitching that they used to do back then. But beautiful, like Kelly green type of color. Love this piece. Definitely gonna get a lot of wear out of it. It's a bit of a slimmer fitting Letterman jacket, very similar to like the Saint Laurent teddies and stuff like that, which I would love. I would love to have one of those, but very, very similar in fit. Can't wait to wear this in the fall. Like I said, I'm buying a lot or getting a lot of stuff for fall because I'm kind of preparing for that because, like I said, summer's coming to a close, unfortunately. This next piece, they actually sent this for Megs to wear. I thought it was gonna be for me because it was kind of small, but they informed me it was for her, so she could steal this whenever she wants. It just says Totally Tennis. It's kind of like a ringer, very old school type of vibe. And you can see like how thin it is. You can see like the stretching it's had over time, and then also like the wear of this. This just definitely started off as a red and it like faded to like a coral color, which is really cool. The fit on this is pretty unique on me, but I'm sure it looks even better on Megs because she has a smaller torso than I do. On to some other pieces. Before I get on to the next pieces, thank you everyone at Unsigned Rags. Make sure you go check them out. I have every link to every vintage boutique that I mentioned in this video in the description so that you guys could like shop around and see what other vintage options there are online for you guys rather than just thrifting and finding your own vintage boutiques. I just want to like show a bunch of different ones on the channel just so that people get a good grasp as to like what options there are out there on the internet for secondhand clothes, because it's the better way to shop in my personal opinion rather than fast fashion. So let's get into the rest of these pieces. Don't fall on the ground, please. Okay, these are from Broken Garments. I had mentioned them in my last video, which was about the gallery department flare denim, and they made their affordable alternative of what that is basically. Aside from that being one of their components of the business, which is not even the main component, they kind of specialize in vintage denim, or like just vintage pieces, and reworking them to make them even more personalized. So these were a pair of vintage Levi's that he kind of just added more paint to make them more like a painter style jean, but he made these look very like authentic to like what an actual painter pair of jeans would look like. You see like the distressed blowout on the leg. Also, I don't really have a pair of jeans in this tone of denim. You guys can also see like I'm obsessed with vintage Levi's. I have like 4 or 5 pairs here, but you can honestly never have enough. I always get pairs whenever I can, and if you find a pair that fits you, I strongly recommend picking them up because you can never have too many of them, in my personal opinion. This next pair, continuing on from Broken Garments, these were just, I think these came actually like this, but I could be wrong. This is a pair of like old Wrangler jeans. I don't know the exact age of these, but these are probably my best fitting pants of the summer. They just kind of fall perfectly, and they're very slim, but not too wide, not too skinny either. They just kind of fit just right. And I love that they have the released hem. This is probably like one of the few pants that I have with the released hem that isn't like botched, because it's actually sewed together. It's not falling apart at all. It doesn't have like the heel drag, I guess you would say, or like heel bite, some people call it. But really beautiful pair of like cream pants. This goes with like a lot of my earth tone type of outfits, I would say. So yeah, really appreciate and vibe with these pants heavy for the summertime. On to this next one. This is probably one of my favorite uppers that I've had from this whole vintage selection that I've been brewing up this whole time for this video. But I've gotten a whole lot of wear out of this. It's probably one of my favorite hoodies that I've been wearing as of recent. This Coach Russell hoodie, I believe this is from the 70s. They have the old Russell tag, and it says this girl's name, probably the original owner of this hoodie, Rachel Sweat is her name. But yeah, it's just an all red hoodie, but it's so boxy, bro. It's like perfect. See how wide it is in the body, and then like the arms fit perfectly to my wrist. It's just like the perfect fitting hoodie. Like I would love to just have all my hoodies fitting this exact way. Love the drawstrings. They're like very not invasive at all. They're kind of just like slim in there. The hood is perfectly like at a perfect length, especially with all my hair. When I have my hair out, it still keeps everything composed. It's not too small. And the only detail that it has really is on the back. It says Coach, which I don't mind being a coach. So yeah. On to the last 2 pieces of the video, which is this. We have this collegiate style Russell crew neck, and I've been seeing a whole lot of these on my Explorer page recently, and through like a mystery bundle that I got from someone that was submitting a bunch of vintage pieces my way. I'm gonna have them in the description below. Like I said before, they ended up sending me one of these, so I was kind of hunting for one, and it kind of just came my way. It's a size large, and it fits me kind of perfectly. Super boxy, really nice texture to the screen print, purple and teal. So yeah, love a heather gray crew neck. You can never go wrong with something like that, especially with there's just the collegiate logos. I feel like you could get a lot of wear out of something like that. And lastly is this reworked Harley Davidson long sleeve. It's composed of like 3 different Harley tees, I believe. Oh no, 4 different Harley tees, which is this or Switzerland one on the back. Really cool. And then it has another one here and another like classic one on the sleeve. Really beautiful long sleeve. I've worn this like once or twice this summer, got plenty of compliments, and this was from a known like artist in the city. His name is Pape. He's affiliated with this like vintage conglomerate, and I'll have them in the description below. But that Pape as an artist, if you guys are like into rap or whatever and you want to have like some more low-key artists that are from Canada. This guy from Montreal, we have this song that we've been playing all summer long. I'm gonna leave it at the end of this video before we get into the outro. You guys have to watch that. Crazy. I'm gonna leave like a little snippet of it, but it's Worldwide Films and him just kill it every time. Anyway.
When I'm swerving the fast lane, the Glock on me. Ain't got no friends, all these niggas off to me. I ain't trying to make amends, it's obsolete.
Thank you guys for watching. Appreciate you guys stopping by the channel. Make sure to go follow me on my Instagram, GOTSWEIGE is where you can keep up to date with me more frequently. I'm out. Peace.
Niggas wanna lose their life. Nigga, this shit ain't sweet. Yeah, you won't speak to the boss, so they sent your ass to me. Ain't frontin', you no work. Last nigga got beat down for that P. Bitch, I got some Zoes, don't see TZZZZ. I'ma up this Glock and let it fly till this little bitch on E. Yeah, I'm a G, a little thuggish cut. I would